Ladies and gentlemen, born in September, let me show you an example of your birthstone. This is a cashmere sapphire. They don't even make these anymore. From 1881 to 1887, that's it. This is the quintessential example of what a sapphire looks like. Cornflower blue, velvetly, smooth coloring. So the next time someone asks you what your birthstone is, tell them I am a cashmere sapphire. Discover the value of your story. Increase. So this award lets me know that good morning, bonjour, comment ça va? Et toi? Ça va très bien, even though it's freezing outside. Ni hao, hola, bienvenue, Wan Ying, bienvenita, bienvenidos, benvenuta, namaste, and welcome. Welcome to another exciting episode of Gem Hunter Stories. My name is Barry B. Mixon, and I am a gemmological storyteller. In each and every week, I get the magnificent opportunity to take you on an adventure. To places you've never been before, to hear stories you've never heard before. What I get a chance to do is take the art, science, history, and magic of gemstones, precious metals, and fine jewelry and put it together into a story. The whole history of mankind really revolves around gemstones and precious metals, no matter what culture, religion, race, where you're located in the world. So what I do is I take those stories and use them as a template, as an inception point, as a bridge to remind people, to empower people, to help people take the time to discover the value of their own stories, of who they are, of how they resonate in the light. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to do something different today because, as you know, we live in a world, I think this is Mental Health Month, but really every month should be Mental Health Month because we live in a world where there's a lot of people who don't feel valued. They don't feel like their life has meaning. And one of the things that happens when you start to study gemology is you begin to see the world in a different way. Thank you, Barbara. You begin to see relationships, not only just with the people around you, but also the people that are in your life. You begin to see, believe it or not, begin to see as you study gemology, how the things and the principles and the techniques that we use to appraise a gemstone can really be used to appraise who we are. So what I'm going to do today, so for instance, let me do this. When you look at this diamond, I won't even say the diamond. When you look at this gemstone, what do you see? You see the finished product. You see, you don't know what it is. You know it's beautiful. You see the light coming off of it. If I was able to move it, you would see the scintillations. You would see the thing, something going on. But you don't know what it is. You don't know how it got there. There's lots of gemstones that I can simulate this look. If I had moissanite, if I had a synthetic diamond. So the point is, you don't know what it is. You don't know what it came from. What was it? What was this? What's the possibility of this gemstone? You don't see it. All you see is the finished product. You see this. You don't know when you first look at this that this, once upon a time, this is how it started. And many of us feel just like this. Many of us feel that we're diamonds, where there's so much to us, but nobody knows. And if you're not looking like this at the end of it, not just externally, but internally, where do you go? Where do you go? If you start out like this, if you feel that this is who you are, how do you get to feel, and let's say diamonds could talk. If you are a diamond, you're sitting in the ground for millions, a billion years. That's what you look like. And nobody knows. People walking over you, people walking around you, they build roads over you, and nobody knows that beneath the ground, here you are. And that you have the potential to become this. Now, we know, and hopefully you're old enough to know, that people are going to think what they're going to think. As they say in my community, haters are going to hate. But what I want to talk about is, how do you get to feeling and appreciating who you are? How that you're not a rock. You're not a rock. Or are you? Right? Some of you right now watching this show, this is how you feel. And I know that for a fact, because that's how I felt for decades. I felt like I was a rock. This was me, Barry Mixon, a rock. And I believe that. Why? Because that's what I was told. I was told that I wasn't going to be anything. This is because I was black, because I was skinny. I say that and laugh. Because I was skinny, because I had big giant ears, because I spoke the King's English. I was not going to be anything. I was just going to be a rock. And, raise your hand. I can't see, obviously, but raise your hand if that's how you feel. Especially, this is the brand new year. It's freezing cold outside, financial issues, inflation, all kinds of things. You feel like a rock, or at least society wants to try to make you feel like a rock. So today I'm going to show you how you don't have to feel like that. You don't have to be a rock, and you don't have to be a rock stacked on top of each other. The people around you are rocks. You're a rock. The people around you are rocks. Your friends are rocks. You don't have to feel like that. And it starts with you. So today, what we're going to talk about, and once you understand you're not a rock, then we're going to understand your value. Once you understand what you are, then you begin to understand your story. But let's expand it. Once you understand who you are, first step, then you understand your story, second step, then you understand your what? Those of you who've been with me for all this time, you understand your value. So I entitled today's show, Discovering and Appreciating the 4C's in You. Because it's the same thing, and I'm going to prove that to you. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but I'm going to prove that to you. So today, you're all going to be Dominus Satus Amen. You're going to be appraisers. We're going to walk you through an appraisal, except the appraisal is going to be on you. We're going to see if this is who you are. Because once you understand if this is who you are, not only can you understand that for yourself, but then you can understand how your family, the people around you, your friends, they may be that too. You just have to see it. You just have to understand it. You have to look at it as you would look at an appraisal. So we're going to talk about the 4C's, right? What are the 4C's? Most of you already know, but you know the 4C's. 4C's is cut, color, clarity, and carat weight, or carat. And what most people think about is when they think of the 4C's, they think about a diamond. That's what they see. They see a diamond. But the 4C's really can relate to any type of gemstone. In fact, all gemstones, as an appraiser, as a gemologist, what I do is, and the same thing with people who just sell the jewelers, they look at it from a concept of the 4C's. That's how they sell it to you, as one aspect of the 4C's. So let's look at that. Let's really look at ourselves in a way that we would look the same way that we would look at a diamond or gemstone. Let's use real live gemmological techniques and concepts to figure out whether or not you're a gemstone, what kind of gemstone you are, what are your characteristics, what are your attributes. And then at the end of today, we're going to figure out, at least begin the concept of understanding what your value is. Okay? Take a deep breath, get something to drink. Ready? Here we go. What you have to understand first and foremost is that an appraisal is a story. An appraisal is a story based on my years of experience. If I appraise your gemstone, if anybody appraises your gemstone, that means that they went to some type of training. They went to GIA, they went to GEMA. If they were really smart, they went to the International School of Gemmology. Shameless plug, but really, it's an incredible school with my mentor and good friend, Robert James. But wherever you went to, when you appraise a gemstone, what you're doing is you're looking at this gemstone and you're saying to yourself, what is it? Someone hands me this diamond, and I always say, this is the 4,650 carat model. So I don't want nobody to hit me over the head. I live in Chicago, of a diamond, supposedly. I don't know what it is. So an appraisal is a story. That's first and foremost. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a gemmological appraisal. And those of you who don't know, because I studied in the British system, the Gemmological Association of Great Britain, I spell gemmology or gemmological with 2 M's. For those of you who are asking, how can we spell it with 2 M's? That's why. Because I spend more time actually in that system or thinking about the scientific aspect. All right. I digress. So we're going to look at value, because as I always say, nothing has value without a story. So first we have to determine, are you a gemstone? I mean, yeah, you gave me this. You told me, hey, Barry, look at this. Look at mine. You have it on your hand. I'm at a party. Imagine, I'm at a cocktail party and you got this gemstone. Some woman or some man is wearing a gemstone like this. He's saying, it's a diamond. And they give it to me to appraise. As a professional appraiser, I'm not going to just take your word for it. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, that's definitely an appraisal. That's definitely a ruby. That's definitely a sapphire. I don't know. Is it synthetic? Is it an imitation? What is it? Is it natural? What is it? So the first question you have to ask yourself is, are you a gemstone? So let's figure that out, because there's or are you a rock? Are you a gemstone or are you a rock? So let's go. So this is the rock. It's not a bad looking rock. It's kind of nice, actually. It's definitely hard. It's definitely, if you're walking down the street, some streets in Chicago, having one of these in your hand wouldn't be a bad thing. The cops come up, arrest you. You don't have a gun, you have a knife. What's that? That's a rock. Why do you have a rock in your hand? Well, I'm a gemologist. So this is your rock. But that's not who you are, is it? So let's look at it. So let's first look at what are the attributes of a gemstone. We talked about this before, but what we're going to do is put it all together. The attributes of a gemstone, the thing that makes a gemstone, that qualifies a piece of material as a gemstone, is these 4 attributes: rarity, beauty, durability, and desirability. Those are the things that determines whether or not it's a gemstone. So first, rarity. Think about it. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like you. 8 billion human beings on the planet, and there's nobody like you. They may have your same name. They may have a similar complexion. They may come from the same tribe. They may come from the same community. They may have similar beliefs, but there's nobody. Even if you're a twin, there's nobody exactly like you. So rarity, check. There's nobody like you. And you really got to internalize that. I know we hear it as a kid, there's nobody. You really got to begin to internalize that you are, there's only one Barry Mixon, Barry B Mixon. And there's a lot of Barry Mixons, but nobody's like me. So rarity. Durability. Durability is up to you. Are you durable? And let's take that individual and in a relationship. If you're 63, I'm 63 years old, and I am blessed not to be on any kind of medication. I don't even take aspirin. Blood pressure, all those, working out, doing different things. So durability. Are you durable? If you're in a relationship, and that relationship have survived 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. There's people, I think, what they said, Samuel L. Jackson and his wife have been together almost like 43 years. That's durability. That's durability. Is that woman that you're with, is she durable? Not saying tough or strength. I'm talking about is she your rock? Is she your gemstone? Has that woman been with you through thick and thin? Baby, I lost my job. I love you. Baby, I've gained 20 pounds. I love you. Baby, I'm trying to, I didn't win whatever I was trying to win. I love you. Durability. And she's rare. Or reverse it. He's rare. You got that man that's down for you, helping you out, supporting you. You got 5 kids, and he's like, baby, I got 3 of them. Why don't you take the other 2? All right, God, let's do this. And then you guys are fighting each other. Why you get 3? I got, whatever. Durability. Desirability. And this is where people, especially men, they forget. That woman that you thought was, oh my God, she was just so beautiful. And now, because years later, she's not desirable anymore. Why? Because she was an emerald then. That jewelry that you got in your jewelry box that's sitting in the back of the closet, you may not even know where it is. But if you found it, that ring would still have meaning. That ring would be something that you would wear. That ring was, oh my God, this is beautiful. You still desire that ring, that gem. That gem is still your gemstone. So desirability. That man that was sexy and handsome, and back in college he had hair. Now I don't have hair, but am I still desirable? Maybe not to you, but to somebody. Everybody doesn't like rubies. Everybody doesn't like turquoise. Everybody doesn't like opal, but they're desirable to somebody. I know people who don't like diamonds. They just don't like diamonds. I don't like diamonds. Or last week I was talking about garnet, right? There's lots of people who are born in January, and when I say, "What's your birthstone? What month are you born?" They go, "January," and I'm like, well, "Do you know your birthstone?" They go, "Yeah, it's garnet." But once I show them the different colors of garnet, they're like, "Wow, that's garnet? I didn't know that." So desirability. That man or that woman that 10, 20 years later, you still like, baby, you still look good. You still look good. I still desire you. You're still the prettiest woman in the room. For me. That woman that looks at her man, move that refrigerator or pick up the kids, and you just like, baby, you still got it. Desirability. And beauty. Is that person still beautiful to you? Is that person, are you beautiful to yourself? That's the most important thing. Are you still beautiful to yourself? You may not look like you did in high school. You may not look the way you looked when you won the beauty contest. You may have had hair. Once upon a time, I had hair. I had a whole afro. Once upon a time, I had eyebrows. I don't know what happened. But to someone, I'm beautiful. When I look at myself in the mirror, I go, yeah, okay, all right. I'm not on Hollywood. There's no, magazine cover with my face on it. But am I beautiful to myself? Yeah, I'm okay. So once you figure those out, once you can check those 4 boxes, you are a gemstone. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Now that we've established that you are actually a gemstone, right? You had a piece of paper. I did the examination. I looked at my microscope. I looked in and said, yeah, okay, I did all the tests, and we figured out. And you did the same thing internally. Right now, you said, I am a gemstone. Now, that's just the first step as an appraiser. You have to figure out what is it. So now that you got that, let's go to the next step. The next step is we need to figure out what your value is. You are a gemstone. We got it. But we all know that the Hope Diamond is not the same diamond that you're going to get at Kmart or Kmart or Walgreens or Walmart. You're not going to get that. You're not going to see this is the Hope Diamond. This is the Millennium Diamond now at Target. You're not going to see that. So what is your value? What is your value? Not only just what is your value for your community or for your family, what is your value for yourself? Do you value yourself? We hear lots of times people committing suicide, doing things and just ending their lives. I'm thinking about that woman, the beauty queen, the woman who was a beauty queen. She went to an excellent school. She was a newscaster, had an excellent career, jumped off a building, 14, 15 stories. She felt like whatever value that she had, and I don't know what she felt, obviously, but some aspect of value had to be lacking or missing or something that made her feel like that was the option. That was the option. That the world would not miss her if she did what she did. Value. Let's continue. So let's look at the 4 C's. Right? Discovering and appreciating the 4 C's of you. So let's look at it in a gemmological way. Right? Nothing. This is nothing I made up. Lord knows how many books I got here that talk about that. So let's look at the 4 C's. Let's go one by one. Cut. What is cut? Cut is literally a way to describe how the gemstone has been faceted and shaped to maximize its visual appeal. Now, the thing that's interesting about a gemstone, what you see is what you see is what you have to work with. And when you are faceting or cutting a gemstone, you don't add material to a gemstone. If I have a little piece of gemstone, I'm looking for my other rock. Here we go. If we have a little piece of gemstone right here, I cannot make this little piece of gemstone into this. I can't do it. This gemstone may have the same attributes of this, but I can't make this into this. We are different. We as human beings, we can change. We can change our side. We can create and shape ourselves and facet ourselves in a way that we maximize our visual appeal. Women know this. Women know this. Women, I mean, this is where the whole concept of the connection for me came from when I realized women do this all the time. Wigs, eyeshadows, everything. Guys, come on, watch the television. You see. And you see videos, TikTok, whatever, where you see guys completely do something to themselves that now they look like just they're a woman. And you're like, what? Oh my God, I had no idea. What's her name? Laverne, I forgot her last name. Yeah. So cut. You have the power to change the way you're shaped, the way you're faceted. If you want bigger arms, cool. You know what you got to do. If you want to be more shapely or you like your shape, okay. So cut. What is your cut? What are you doing to maximize for yourself? Not about everybody else. Everybody doesn't like round brilliance. Everybody doesn't like princess cut. Everybody doesn't like marquee cut. So what is your cut? How have you faceted yourself in such a way? What school did you go to? How are you eating? If you're eating Krispy Kreme donuts all the time, it's going to affect your cut. It's going to affect the way you are. If you're sleeping, if you're not getting exercise, and your shoulders are slumped over because you're spending hours on the computer, that's affecting your cut, your visual appeal to yourself. So what is your cut? Proportions. This is all part of just cut. What are your proportions? What is your size, shape, and angles? How have you put that together? When you were thinking about your career and you wanted to be a chef, what schools, what things, what courses are you going to take to create the facets? What are facets? The facet of a gemstone is to do what? To maximize the light performance, meaning that if this is an ideal cut diamond, the reason why it's called ideal cut diamond is because the light that comes in through the top of this diamond basically radiates all the light, as maximum amount of light out of the top of the diamond, out of the table. So what are your proportions? How are you putting yourself together in a way that is pleasing? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break right now, and I want you just to think about those two things. Just cut right now. Cut and see in your proportions. And I'll see you when you get back on the other side. Thank you, Barbara. Self-care. Think about how that woman felt standing on that beach or wherever she was with her arms extended. Okay? She was thin, but her proportions, her shape, her size, the angles of her facet fit her. That fit who she is. Her cut. Symmetry. Again, crucial. Crucial for the overall appearance of the gemstone. And you have to make, when you are cutting a gemstone, you have to cut it in such a way. The symmetry, is it going to be round? Is it going to be square? Is it going to be asha cut? What is your symmetry? If it balanced? If you have a body where the other day I saw a woman who had a lymphatic disease where she had one leg huge and the other leg was normal size. She had to do things to adjust to her symmetry of who she is. Her disease is uncurable. It's uncurable. That's what she said. This disease is not curable. So she has to live the rest of her life with and I won't even say abnormally, a big leg, a leg that's bigger than one leg. So she has to wear clothes and adjust who she is because of her symmetry. Then there's polish. Polish is the smoothness of the surface. How smooth. And when I think about smooth, think about people who do incredible things. Like your mom. How your mom can drive a car, do an eyeshadow, talk to somebody, think about what they're going to have for dinner, and still talk to the kids in the back. All that all at one time. Polish, that's smooth, and they do it effortlessly. And you're sitting there like, how did you do all that? I'm having a hard time just doing one thing. You did 12 things. That's because that person has a certain polish. You ever see people who, when their hair, their makeup, their everything is just this polish. That's polish. That's how they put it all together, the smoothness of the surface. You don't see all the work that you had to do to get there, but they know what they had to do. You know what you had to do to make that happen. And then faceting style. Faceting style is talking about Are you who you are may not fit right to be a round brilliant. It may not fit to be princess cut. It may not fit to be a heart shape. That may not fit who you are. If you're a woman in a male dominated industry, being a heart and coming in with let's say you're a woman working in you're a manager of a construction firm and you got all these hard butt guys, that are like one step from Neanderthals, and you're not gonna go and like, hi guys, well today, you're not gonna come like that because you understand as a woman, you may not come like that because you are a woman. So therefore, you have to create a style that highlights your unique properties, that you can be a woman and a construction worker and work as hard or do as well as the guys that might be 300-400 pounds more than you. But your style, who you facet, fits you. It fits who you are. Then, of course, shape. What is your overall shape? How does it all come together to maximize what you are? You pear, you oval, you emerald cut. What does it do? Emerald cut diamonds are cut like that because emerald diamonds have different challenges that a round brilliant shape won't work for them. So you cut an emerald shape to have these steps, and some people like that. Some people don't like all the scintillation in it. They just like it to be a brilliant, flat appearance. So they like emerald cuts. That word doesn't work for some people, but some people like that. There's a lot of people that like emerald cut diamonds or emerald cut gemstones. Then we have color. Color. Critical factor in determining the overall beauty and value. Most people think cut is actually more important, but most people, what do they look at when they look at the gemstone? They look at the color. And depending on the value, different gemstones are valued in different ways for their color. When you look at different gemstones, there's some gemstones just, if you want blue, you might talk about aquamarine. And then color is split up into hues, saturations, and tones, and color grading. So this is a chocolate diamond. This is a chocolate diamond. So first of all, we have established it's a diamond. We put this cut. We made this cut that maximizes. There's some inclusions in here. You can see, and we'll talk about that second. But it was cut in a way that maximizes the color, the hue, the saturation, the tone. So it's balanced. So the hue refers to the basic color of the gemstone. What is your hue? Are you white? Are you black? Are you red? Are you yellow? Do you have a yellowish tinge to your skin? What is your overall color? That's your hue. I'm not really a black man. I'm a brown man. Overall, I'm a brown man. Here's black. My sweater is black. I'm not this color. You can see the difference between my head and my shirt. So I'm not, I'm called a black man, but I'm really brown. That's my overall color. This is tanzanite. The overall color of tanzanite, it's not just blue. It would be a crime to call this blue. Look at the hue. Look at just the way it radiates the color. Bluish violet. It's beautiful. That's the hue. We would call it bluish violet because the overall basic color is blue. Saturation. What's the intensity of it? What's the strength of color? We know that there are people in the world that from every end of the spectrum, from some white that look like, oh my God, Casper the Friendly Ghost, to people who are almost this color, this jet black ebony, and everything in between. And there's different saturations. I'm brown, but I'm a little lighter brown than some other people who might be a chestnut brown, or who might be a walnut brown, or who might be a mahogany brown. What is my saturation? Here's a diamond. It's yellow. Its overall color is yellow, but the saturation of this yellow is different than the saturation of this yellow. And the person who cut it had to maximize it, had to balance out the color where the color is uniform throughout. So this color, you see out in the middle, it picks up, you see the color, the different highlights over here, you see the different colors, where versus this in the middle, it's pretty pale or palish in color. And the lapidary or the diamantaire decided to cut it in such a way where it maximizes that color, the yellow The saturation is deeper on the outside. Saturation. Tone. Are you light or are you dark? Notice I didn't say that whether or not you're a diamond. We already established that you're a gemstone. Are you a light gemstone? Are you a dark gemstone? Are you a light diamond or are you a dark diamond? You're still a diamond. Some people like chocolate diamonds. Some people like blue diamonds. Some people like red diamonds. Well, they can find one, red diamonds. And some people just, a diamond to them is colorless. Here's a nice, beautiful orange pink diamond. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Here's one that's orange. It's darker color. Still beautiful, just a darker tone. Then we have color grading. Color grading is when the colors of your color is based on what your species is. You're not going to find a yellow turquoise. You're not going to find yellow turquoise. You're not going to find yellow not yellow. Peridot. You're not going to find blue peridot because that's not within their type of species. You're not going to do that. But in human beings, we can have a whole range of color. So how does your color fit into the greater color of who you are? I'm a black man, but where does my color fit into the color grade? Doesn't decrease my value. It's just that I am a light brownish black man. Here's a colorless diamond. Here's a colorless diamond. But a colorless diamond would never be jealous of or feel it's really better than a colored diamond. Why? Because these are all colored diamonds. These are called fancy diamonds. Yeah, these are the ones. I mean, this diamond costs a lot of money. But if you have a diamond that's this color, the yellowish color or the blue color, oh yeah, the pink color, oh yeah, red, oh yeah, have that same diamond in red. See what happens to the price. So you have to appreciate your color. That's a seed that you need to appreciate. What color are you? What color are you? And then once you figure out that color, what you're going to do with it is that. So the next step is clarity. How clear are you? And I'm talking about clear. Obviously, you can't see through people. But how much clarity do you have inside of you? Clarity refers to the presence or absence of internal or external flaws, known as inclusions or blemishes, right? That's what a clarity is. Inclusions, blemishes, clouds, all kinds of things. Oh my God, this whole book is nothing but this whole book is nothing about this whole book is about blemishes and inclusions that you're going to see. That's what clarity is. Blemishes, inclusions, when you talk about, oh, my ring is a IF or internally flawless, or this ring is a VVS1, VVS2, SI12, I12, and then whatever that clarity is has an effect on the value of it. A flawless diamond is going to cost a whole lot more money than an SI diamond. So how does that relate to you? Are you clear? Are you clear in your intentions? There's a difference. We go to the store all the time. There's a difference between going to the store and that store says that when you walk into the store, that employee goes, "Welcome to fill in the blank." And you feel included. You feel like someone really cares. This person, their clarity is such that it's crystal clear that that doctor, that nurse, that teacher, that bus driver cares about you. A flawless diamond is a flawless gemstone is extremely rare. Extremely rare. I've never really held on, let's say, on a constant basis. Maybe I've been doing this for 20 years. I think I've held maybe 2 gemstones in my hand that was flawless. Maybe. And it was like, here, touch it. Okay, good. Give it back. Exactly. Gemstones. So here's a news flash. All gemstones are treated. All of them. Every last gemstone is treated in some way. In fact, I have a chart. This chart right here. This chart right back here. This is that chart. Right at the top of it. It says the chart of commercially available gem treatments. Whole chart. These charts. This is the chart that's behind me. I use it every day, the different treatments. Here's two other charts that I have on this side. Here's the two other charts I have on this side. All these are gemstones. In fact, there's so many gemstones and so many different treatments that there's two charts, A and B, gem property charts. So all gemstones are treated. So are you. So are humans. So are humans. Nobody just wakes up. I was looking at the guy who plays in the Prime Video show called Reacher. You know, Reacher is this guy who plays. I think his name is Alan Rickman. Reacher is this guy is like 6'5", 6'7". I mean, just shredded up to. I mean, I'm like, dang, brother. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? He working out. He's eating what he said, 4,000, 5,000 calories a day. He's in the gym 2-3 hours a day. So okay, that's how he treated himself. That's what he does. Women who use different skincare treatments and Nivea eye cream and what that new thing you put in your eye, luminescence or something that make the whites of your eyes. Those are treatments. And ladies, we're not even going to go into nails and pedicures and manicures. I mean, some women talk about pedicures and manicures like going to church. It is a religious thing. I got to get my nails done. I got to get my feet done. Those are treatments. If you didn't do that, what would your hands look like? Treatments. Then we have carrot. And this is the part that really cracks me up. Where I can really we need to look at things in a different way. Carrot equals weight. Every time you hear carrot, you're talking about weight, not just size, but weight. And there's different attributes of weight. There's different components. Weight is a unit of measurement. It's a unit of measurements that we use with gemstones and pearls. This is so weight is equal to 200 milligrams or 0.2 grams. That's what carat is. This woman is holding a certain carat diamond in her hand. Obviously, it's not cut. And then what someone has to do, a diamantaire has to decide, what are we going to do with that? How many different diamonds are we going to create from that gemstone? And then you have weight is size and weight. The different, a point that you've ever bought a diamond, there's a vast difference between a 0.99 diamond and a 1 carat diamond. Yeah. It's not the same. It's not like bread. It's not like if you had a 1 carat diamond that costs $5,000, if you get a 2 carat diamond, it's $10,000. No, it doesn't work like that. It's exponential differences. What is the influence of value? I just said $5,000 for 1 carat. You might have a 2 carat that's $25,000 for just that difference in weight. All gemstones have different densities. So you might have a density just like lead. You might have a 1 carat diamond versus a 1 carat aquamarine. Because of the density of it, a 1 carat diamond may not be the same weight, won't look the same as a 1 carat aquamarine because how dense it is. Right? We know people who look fantastic, who like, oh my God. And you ask them how much they weigh, and they're like 100 and something, upper 100 pounds, 200 pounds. And you're like, wow, you don't look like that at all. That's density. That's density. How do they look in their size, in the way they carry their weight? Then we decide. That's what you have an opportunity to do. That gemstone is not going to get any bigger. It's only going to get smaller. So look at look at the numbers. You're up to, I'm seeing number 14. 13 different gemstones are going to come out of that. That one piece, 13. So we don't have that ability. So what can we do? We can change. We can change our size. We can change our carat weight. Some of us started this year saying, this is the year I'm going to be 5 carats. This is the year I'm going to be 3 carats. This is the year there's people who want to gain weight. This is the year that I'm going to be a 20 carat diamond or gemstone. Is that increase in weight fits what you can do? I'm never going to be skinny again. I used to be, I know I tell people all the time, I used to be so skinny, I could take my two fingers, go from my wrist all the way up my arm. I'm talking about until I like joined the Marine Corps. The rifle was big. The M16 was about the same size as me. I have a picture somewhere that if I showed it to you, you wouldn't even recognize who I was. The only person ever recognized it was my mother. Literally. The only thing you can describe was because my ears. Obviously, things have changed. My carrot has changed. And I have to appreciate who I am today, right now. I can make some adjustments, but no one's ever going to say, oh my God, Barry is so skinny. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Be nice, but it's not going to happen. So now that we've completed this appraisal, cut, color, clarity, and carry weight, what did you decide? What kind of gemstone do you want to be? What? What kind of person do you want to be? Because you're in control. That's what this show is about. You're in control. And once we understand that we are in control of the type of gemstone we are. I think 90% of the reason why the universe, God, pointed me towards gemology is because I began to feel differently about myself. I began to look at what it took to make a gemstone, and I had to make a decision. What kind of gemstone am I? And when you really understand it, you begin to understand that you can change whatever gemstone that you want to be. Today, I want to be a ruby because ruby has certain characteristics that I like. Tomorrow, I might want to be tanzanite. Tanzanite is a gemstone that if you look at it in different directions, it has a different color. So today on January 17th, what kind of gemstone do you want to be? But the question we need to ask ourselves before that is, what kind of gemstone are you right now? What are you? You may think you're a rock. I got you. I understand. Lord knows. Ask some of my therapists. I felt like I was a rock. Why? Because people in my life told me I was a rock. Told me I didn't have any value. I told you many times, the reason why I speak, the reason why I do what I do is because my ex-wife told me, oh my God, you talk so much. I'm so tired of you talking. Jesus Christ, I'm just so sick of you talking. You're a fountain of useless information. So I had to ask myself, am I? Do I like to talk? Do I like studying science and doing history and doing different things? Yeah. Yeah. So what's my value? Those of you who love to cook, those of you who love to do paperwork, those of you who love to drive, those of you who, what kind of gemstone are you today? And what can you do to maximize who you are? Your value. Your value. That's the question that all of us have to ask ourselves. And the advantage that we have is, unlike a gemstone, a diamond is always going to be a diamond. You can heat it, you can treat it, you can dye it, you can hit it with nuclear radiation, all kinds of things. You might be able to change the color, you might be able to cut it, you might be able to fashion it in such a way, but you're never going to change what it is. And that's our advantage. We can change. We are all human beings. Got it. No problem. But you can change your quality. You can change your value. You can change what you want to look, capital YOU, what you want to change it into. Forget about everybody else. And I know it's hard. Lord knows how many decades I struggled with that. But when you get to the point when you understand your 4C's, when you get to the point when you understand who you are, you might get a little bit from here. Your mother told you this, or your father told you this, or your coach told you this, or your colleague told you this. When you kind of put it all together, what are you doing? You're putting together your traits, your characteristics. What makes it? And I told you, a diamond. Everybody says, "I want to be a diamond." Okay, diamonds are beautiful. Diamonds are incredible. Diamonds have all types of light performance, but a diamond is a brittle gemstone. If you hit a diamond, if you hit a diamond in a certain direction, in a certain plane, that diamond is going to break. That diamond has what's called not only just cleavage, it has perfect cleavage. I mean, it's going to break right exactly where it is. Boom. You may not want to be a diamond. You might want to be jade. You might want to have characteristics that put it all together, then that you're tough. You're tough. People who are out here in this kind of crazy weather and they have to do it all day long, they're a whole different kind of person. I did road construction for a minute. People who do road construction all the time, oh, they're a whole different animal. They're a whole different animal, and they weren't born like that. They took what they are, and they became that. If you're in the military and you're out there in bushes, and yeah, there's no excuse me, Gunny, can I take a break? No, you have to be. You have to develop those characteristics and traits to call yourself a United States Marine, if that's what you're going to be. So once you figure out what your characteristics and traits are, my ex-wife told me, and it was true, that I like to talk. I do. So what do I do with it? What do I do with it? That's the question we have to remember back a couple of shows, to be or not to be, to live or not to live. That is the question. What kind of gemstone do you want to be? And what kind of gemstone are you now? What can you do with the characteristics and traits that you have? And how are you going to fashion, cut, design yourself to make it work? What's your symmetry? And what are you going to do to enhance what type of gemstone you are? That no, if somebody likes you, you know that you're a ruby, you know that you're a sapphire, you know that you're a sunstone. And once you understand that story, once you understand that story of who you are, how you got there, what you are made out of, then and only then will you begin to understand your value. That's what this show is about. Helping people discover the value of their own stories. Thank you, Barbara. So your homework assignment is just to spend some time with yourself. Whether your gemstone is based on the month that you are or the color that you like, what type of person of the 8 billion people that live on the planet, what type of gemstone, here's a line, put your name there, are you? And once you begin to discover that, once you start that journey of discovering who you are, what you're made out of, how did you get there? The whole world is different. Because not only do you understand what it took for you to get there, equally important, you understand what other people had to go through to become who they are, to become the gemstone that they are. So I hope you got something out of this today. I hope maybe it just makes you look at yourself in the mirror in a different way. I hope to uplift your spirit, not because of something I said, just because of what you're going to realize about yourself. And once you do that, it's a wonderful thing to wake up in the morning and see yourself and realize that, yeah, I don't have hair. Yes, I don't have an eyebrow. Yes, I talk a lot. Yes, whatever you are. But I'm Barry B. Mixon. I am a gemmological storyteller. And what I do is help people discover the value of their story. That's what I do. So until next week, au revoir, à te tella, voila.